Hey everybody, welcome to the official first episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Yay! That's clapping. We clap. Are we doing clapping? Yeah. You may have seen a sneak peek of this show last week when we were taking a look at the Shuri 6-scale figure. We have a fantastic episode right next to me, tapping away on the ones and twos. We have Autumn. She'll be interacting with everybody in the chat, so make sure you let everything be known in there, because she will be seeing that, and possibly we could be addressing that in there. And then obviously over here we have the fantastic and amazing Guy Klender. Guy, what you doing over there, bud?
We are looking at the Stanley Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 post-credit scene exclusive figure.
That is a title.
It's a heck of a title.
There's a lot.
Type that out.
Real quick.
That's pretty great. I didn't even have to say anything in that. I mean, I was going to say that. Now I don't have to.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So this is going to be a fan interactive show. This is going to be a show where we're going to take a look at a toy that you probably haven't seen being pulled out of a package. We're going to start posing and playing with it a little bit. And we're going to take suggestions from you as what we're going to do with this toy. Let's keep it clean, everybody, okay?
If you have questions about articulation or swap outs or limitations of different poses, just let us know.
Yep, that's all you got to do is to participate in there. And Guy, people don't need it to hear from me, so let's get you started on that. Why don't you crack that clamshell packaging open?
Yeah, that's one of the things that's a little different about this one is the clamshell that you get on it. But it's just an extra layer of protection for that boxed figure inside.
It's really cool, the display. It reminds me of like a classic action figure.
I mean,
you know?
if you chose to not have the figure out, you could just display the shell, or you could put the backside.
We already have a question right here.
Yes.
Is that blister resealable?
Yes, it is. It clips in all four corners. There are a few tape dots that we just used our standard razor knife to open with. But then we're going to remove Stan in his picture box here to show what we've got here. This is the rock base.
That here, that's the one everybody's been waiting to see.
Everybody wants
Pull out
the
that
rock base.
sweet rock base,
Sweet
baby.
rock base from the Moon Xandar that he and the Watchers are watching from. Also comes with this backdrop here. We're going to remove it out of the plastic so you can see it. This is a lenticular, so it has a bit of movement as you would walk past. You'll get to see that. I'm going to hold that up and hopefully we'll angle it to the camera that you can.
I liked the other angle.
You like
I
the
liked
other
the one where it was coming from the top.
Okay,
you
well,
were
then let's go back to
No,
that.
I just meant I liked that it looked so weird
Oh,
when you
yeah.
were
Oh,
holding
yes.
it straight. Yeah.
Yes.
That is really cool, though.
But as you can see in the corner, there we go. Down here, you see the three Watchers. This is that post-credit scene where Stan says he has so many more stories to tell.
It's like in the war. There was like during the travel scene too. Right?
Actually, there are two times we see it.
Yeah.
We see Stan during the warping scene, and he's telling a story about him being a FedEx man the last time he was there. This is actually the post-credit scene where the Watchers have left him behind on the moon. So,
Quick
but
question.
you can have them either way.
The base, they want to know what's the weight of that. Is it heavy? Is it light?
It is
the rock base. Sorry.
Oh, the rock base.
Yes.
This is not a polystone or other. In fact, this is probably going to be a spun plastic. It still pulls out the detail. This is kind of a meteor style looking rock, but it is very light. So on your shelf, it's going to look great. We'll spin it around here. There is the seating area. If you remember the very end of it, Stan is sitting there looking kind of bummed, and we'll try and pose the figure in that right there in a little bit.
Yeah, and that's where he's got so many more stories to tell.
So many more stories to tell.
Oh, a couple questions already. The background that you put down.
Yes.
Someone wants to know, do you think that fits in a detolf? It seems a little wide.
This
to me.
seems a little wide for Diva. In fact, without pulling up the measurements on the Diva, I'm going to say no, based on the height as well. I sadly think it will not. I think this is just
they could bow it in, maybe, or is it no? Because it's too tall.
Yeah, because of it being a lenticular, it doesn't have a lot of bend. It's a neat accessory. It's a neat thing to have. Would I display mine with it? I don't necessarily think I would.
Maybe on a top shelf.
If it's a top shelf, or you have a different display than the Deltops, then yes.
Well, you could also pull a double display off if you're going to stand up, standly. But you could also then sort of reseal the package, put the box in, have the lenticular behind there, and you could also display the packaging
Yes,
in of
you
itself.
could go back to, with the clamshell, pop it back on, and you've got a little bit of it displayed, particularly because it does show the watch. I've spun it around, but
yeah,
but like
we
so.
get it.
But you can do it that way. But I think it's a little wide for.
Oh, there was another question about the backdrop. Is there a stand for it to help it stand up?
Yes, it does have. We're going to move Stan off there again. He does come with, on this here, you're going to have 2 additional
The
pieces
Oh.
that snap in, so it'll lay forward.
Yeah.
Or stand straight up is a better way of saying it. Stand straight up.
What's a really cool thing that they're offering too, to have that sort of background base that comes with the piece too. It sort of adds with the luster of the I guess the collectability, but also the poseability and the display factor of it is really fascinating.
I like that they're making them scene specific. I mean, this is so scene specific. It's a 15-second post-credit scene.
Yeah.
But that's the neat part. If you if in 2016 you missed out and didn't get the Stanley figure that was made, that was more the convention going. If you ever were lucky enough to see Stanley at a convention, he was pretty much always in a members only jacket and New Balance tennis shoes and khaki pants. If you're bummed out that you didn't have an opportunity to get that figure, this is your chance.
Every time I saw him at conventions, he looked just like this.
Walking around in that
was the
astronaut
outfit.
suit?
Yeah, in a big astronaut suit. It was strange, but I accept him for who he was.
So let's take a look here at the box. We're going to go with more of a dot matrix style graphic for the front. This matches with the other Guardians boxes. So if you have all of your other Guardians figures, this is the same art style.
It's got a great sort of a 80s pop vibe to it that really sort of plays out. The color is really strong too. It's like an ochre, like a bright orange.
Very, very bright. Very clean graphic. Again, on the back, showing you the specifics, and it is one of the slide out.
Nice.
All right.
There is a question: have you ever met Stan?
Yes, I was lucky enough to meet Stan quite a number of times throughout the conventions. I remember prior to people spending large amounts of money to, get him to sign something, you'd see him walking around the convention hall, just kind of around. And I will say that when you take this figure out, he is the Stanley that I remember.
Yeah,
which is great.
He was only 12 inches tall.
He was only 12 inches tall. That was what's unknown. He was very, very small.
What about yourself? Have you met him?
I have. The first time I ever met Stan was I accidented my way into the green room.
You accidented your way,
I
you tripped and
fell
fell repeatedly?
kind of. And he was brought in, and then he was just alone next to me.
Oh my gosh.
And at the time, my license was in a Spider-Man costume. So I showed him. I was just like, hey, I just wanted to say thanks. You got that. I'm going to leave you alone. He was like, oh, that's great. And then I interviewed him not terribly long ago. I did an interview with him, which was great. I got to interact with him, and he was very nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I have not, unfortunately.
You've never got to meet him?
I never got to meet him.
Oh.
No. I saw him walking around cons many times, but somebody wanted to know if we could measure the backdrop, so we'll see what we can do. We're going to move forward, but we'll see if we can measure it for you guys and get you those specifications after we've measured it. Okay, moving on.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, guys.
Moving on. So we've slid it out of the outer box, and there is your window panel where you can see your figure. The artwork does come down a little bit over, so it's a little difficult to see his face in it. However, you're going to be taking it out of there. Back of the box, showing you all of the artists involved.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we've gotten back
really
into
like
doing
that.
that, and I really think that was neat. There was a time that's now in a world of Instagram and others, you want to follow these artists because that might be a thing. You really like the work of a particular artist, and you want to keep your collection going with who are they doing. And this is a way to see
And it
what
does,
they're doing.
and it does also give them, the respect they're due in putting all the work,
Yes.
all the time and effort. They are artists. They are working hard, and it's good to see that they're getting sort of the treatment that you would if you were to work on a comic book or a movie or something like that.
Yes, having the credits on there, I think, is a great idea.
Now, this is what people have been waiting for. I've seen a lot of comments. I've been peeking.
Yes.
I've been peeking at Autumn's paper here.
Open it,
and
it.
everyone's like,
open the
take
figure,
it
for
out.
God's sakes, get this out of the box. And so we are going to get that out of the box for you and slide off our outer cover. Now, as with the other Hot Toys figures, he does come with instructions if you need them. There's not a lot to tell you in there other than how to change the hands and the pegs. But it is nice to have those there. Inside the box, here's what you're going to see. Figure himself, the protection for both the hands, the feet, and then the face sculpt, and then protection over the glass dome. The glasses are different than what he normally wore. These are scene specific. And then he has the hands that he comes with, and then 2 additional sets, more grasping and gesturing. So let's lift him out.
Just as a heads up, I did find out that the lenticular piece is about 16 and a half by about 14 and an eighth.
Okay.
So if we're looking for size-wise, that's what we're
Yes,
looking at there.
if you have an opportunity to look at the IKEA website, I think it'll tell you the
Yeah.
inside dimensions
So-
of those. But I think I'm thinking it's a little big.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move this off to the side real quick, so we can just focus on Stan himself. So removing the plastic shield that covers the face sculpt, and the eyes on here are so bright. We're going to try and get a close shot of this one here.
There is a question, I don't know if you know the answer. Do you know, is this the same head sculpt as the previous release, but with new glasses, or is this a new head sculpt?
I looked back at my 2016 one. I was lucky enough to get one, and I didn't see a lot of difference. However, Hot Toys is telling us this is a new one. Stan's look was pretty timeless.
Yeah.
He didn't really change in the past 20 years. However, I will say that this is tighter in the head sculpt as far as the details and the aging of the face, and also the hair. You're seeing individual strands on this one here. We're going to try and get a close-up of that so you can see it.
God, it looks just like it's when you really look at it up close.
Yeah, when you look
looks
at it up
so
close,
great.
he just has such a fun
He's
look.
having a blast. He's on the moon talking to the
But
watchers.
okay, there we go. That's we're gonna bend forward so you can see just how tight the hair is. These individual strands that we're seeing of the pulled back, okay, is really great. They're a little tighter than we saw in that 2016 version.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, at that point in time, because it's not like 2000. It's probably molded in 2016. I'm guessing.
Yes.
It's not like the technology is a little bit better in the sculpting and everything like that, but the growth is only going to be very limited.
Yeah,
for
so
what
it's
was
very-
already great in 2016.
Yeah, in
It's-
2016.
It's a tiny improvement on something that was already fantastic.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and as you've been able to see, hopefully, in the close-ups that we've been giving you, is that it just really captures him. It captured him in their first release, but this one here, just being tighter, just captures it even more.
Do you know, are there any restrictions or warnings in the instructions that we need to look for? If you don't know, I can take a look.
We
while
can
I
take a
go.
look at them.
Yeah, I'll take a look. while
That's
you
what
move
people
forward.
want, I think, from
We're going to.
Unsealed and Revealed. They're like, can
Yep.
you read the directions?
She's
and
going to
the
read the directions.
instructions?"
We
We can
suggest
move
that
on.
you always do. This it's a true type body underneath, so you do have the same flexibility that we've had before. However, this is a thick padded suit. If you picked up the Kane or Dallas figure that was also in their movie masterpiece, we haven't seen a thick spacesuit like that until now again.
Can I ask what's the texture of that suit?
It is a soft nylon.
Oh, great.
I want to see if our overhead camera will do a little better. The tight stitching on that is great. You also have down on the legs. Everything about this, sculpting wise, is just spot on.
So it's not sculpted on clothing. It's actually
No, it's not sculpted on clothing. It's also been aged or to have that type
Leather,
of dust.
Yeah.
If we've ever
Moon
seen,
dust.
yes, if you've ever seen the photos of the NASA suits when they came back from the moon, they had that kind of dusty look on those, and this has that as well, particularly around the waistline, around the cuffs, and around the front. I'll call it the respirator version.
There is a question about the backpack. Do you know what it's made of?
Yes, this backpack, that's something I wanted to discuss with it, is that it is a foam. It feels like a harder piece of foam that's had the cloth put over it. Again, tight stitching on that. But what's great about that is because of it, I'm going to move that off, because of it being light like that, we don't have to worry about him falling backward. It's
like a little turtle.
Yeah, exactly. The weight isn't thrown off. It does have. Yeah, here we go. If we can zoom in, it does have these straps will disconnect. I'm not sure that you would need them to, as well as the little hose is magnetic
Well, I guess you could.
and attaches.
Could you take the backpack off, or
This
is that a
shows you
permanent?
You could if you.
What cannot come off?
Yeah. You
So
could
there
if
are
you
some
if you
things.
wanted. There's not really a reason to. Again, being the whole scene specific. The front piece in the directions tells you that right there, you don't get to remove. That does not
Leave it.
Exactly. That does not come off.
That's like his Vader chest piece. He needs it
Yes.
to breathe.
Yes. It's the detachable life support pack. Can be undone if you wanted.
Yeah, I guess taking a life support pack.
Yeah, I
off
wouldn't
the
take a
Stanley, that
life
sounds
support
pretty-
pack off, but it is an option
Yeah,
for
that is
you.
the question. Like, does the whole pack come off?
If you wanted it to, yes. You've got the little clips. There are 4 little clips, and then the 2 magnet ones I told you about
Yeah.
right there.
Well, if you're putting them with a bunch of people, it might be cumbersome.
Yes.
And a large. Maybe if you have a bunch of stands.
Yes,
If
if you have more than one stand. I'm going to move Stan off so we can show you that particular page in your in the.
There we go.
Yeah,
Let's turn on the rotation.
Yeah, ooh, yes. Look at those instructions. But it does show you how you could do it
It's a one-to-one
if
instruction
you
book.
wanted it to. If you do, be incredibly careful with those little clips. These are functioning little clips, but remember that means they're going to be really delicate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because this is a hard to get figure, you don't want to break it.
This might be my favorite part, is the fact that we put
Yeah.
instructions
that
on
were-
the Lazy
yes,
Susan.
Yeah.
Just like, here you go.
As you can see, they
Get a look-
are
now look at
they
that.
are
Look at the
gorgeous.
Look at the printing
And this
on
is
the
this is a
back.
quad fold instruction sheet.
Now that is an exclusive.
Yes,
sheet.
exclusive.
Only
Exclusive sheet.
available
In this
with the
packaging.
Hot Toy
With
Stanley.
the Hot Toy
Guardians of the
Stanley.
Galaxy 2D. So you can only get access to that very collectible piece if you did purchase the Stanley.
Oh, we've got the tread check.
The tread check. All right,
check.
we are ready for tread check. We get a little bit of tread on his feet.
Okay. So
How much tread they needed on the old Xandar Moon? I don't
Yeah.
know. But we'll talk about the
Not
ankle
much.
articulation.
Exactly that much.
Again, probably just about that. I mean, we only see him sitting down. So, but let's now make him stand, and that means putting on the glasses. Now, these glasses are different than what Stan wore on a daily basis.
Well, he's in space.
He's in space,
Space
and these do
glasses.
have that kind of Guardian style with little rivets and such. I want to put those on the Lazy Susan.
More Lazy Susan
More
action
lazy.
we get.
Anytime we can use the Lazy Susan, it's a hard-working Susan.
Look at that's
Is the little riveting? It's done in kind of an aged brass and aluminum, but they are fun. They're a fun take on it, and if you rewatch that scene, he did have different.
those are
Different
jazzy.
glasses.
I like them.
Now they are not a bendable. You can't move that earpiece.
Oh,
Okay.
that's important.
It's Don't try and fold them up and hang him from the front of his shirt. Next thing we should look at though is based on the Sculpt. We're going to go in here again on our tight up. Is on either side, and you can barely see, is where they'll slide in.
They'll kind of notch right in there,
you can
yeah.
see a little
You can
notch.
barely see it because it blends in with the hairline
That's great.
and the sideburn. But, okay, we're going to lazy Susan reveal this. This is just so exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, this
The
is
drama.
This
Bring
is the
on the
big
drama.
dramatic.
Yeah,
reveal.
this is the you know, they're in Milan. You run down the runway.
Oh,
Done.
yeah.
Done. Done. Look at that.
Yeah, there you
Looks
go.
great.
Probably now looks a little bit more Stanley that we're so used to seeing him in, and the look. Now we want to get onto the helmet. Helmet is going to come with a band that holds the two halves together. Now they snap tight, and you won't have to worry about it, but it is a mild adhesive. Removed.
That was very satisfying. to
Very
watch,
satisfying.
By the way.
It was.
Was that-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Sideshow's got a new ASMR show coming out. It's called Separating the Halves.
Yes, I'm a person who has a microfiber cloth for his
I
toys.
was about to say, that's amazing.
Yes, and well, you know, because you're doing that, you're going to be fiddling with the face and the globe. Keep one around just in case.
Yeah, we weren't expecting that one, by the way. That's a 100% surprise to have that show up.
Does that pop in there pretty
And it
easily?
just pops in easy. There is the metal ring that holds it, but you know, I got my fingerprint on there, and now it's gone.
Nice.
Now, you'll notice we're not using a stand, and this character does not come with one. He doesn't need one. Most Hot Toys don't. We've talked about that in other episodes, but this one definitely doesn't have one.
That's good.
Doesn't need it. He does have his base. Because we said this is a real scene specific, he's sitting in that. So what I want to do now is start playing with the posability on it. You do have, we talked about the 3 different hands. You can swap them out. These are the same standard pegs that we've seen before. There's the gesturing hands, more open hands. I like the ones that it comes with. And so I'm going to leave those ones on. Go back to our base.
But we're going to see the other hands?
Yes.
Though? Like, okay.
Yep.
There's a
Yeah, I'm gonna
question
show you
about
the-
the head, about the cover. Do you know why they made it in 2 pieces like that? Does it seem like it couldn't have been made as
It
one
could have
piece?
been made as one, I guess. Why they chose 2, that would be a one they'd have to say about. Unfortunately, this is a dark scene in the movie, and it's a
Yeah.
post credit really quick. So I don't know if there was a seam there or not.
Yeah. Let's just say there was.
But let's say there was, and so it's screen accurate.
How about that?
That we'll go with it's screen accurate.
We like to invent facts here. at
Invent
Unsealed
facts.
And Revealed.
Some of the comments are saying it's potentially that 2 halves is just easier to mass produce. And
I
bring
would,
the
I would
cost
think
down.
so, yeah.
because of the curve we're having to do here and the lip.
Yeah.
It's kind of like blowing a glass
Yeah.
bubble. I think that it's probably easier for the manufacturing to do in 2 halves, but they do go together real easy, and just go right into the little crevice that they've got for it. So now let's start playing with the flexibility. As I said, this is a thick spacesuit, so he's not really restricted in movement of the body, but because of the suit,
As if you were in a spacesuit yourself.
you're
it
going to
might
be a little more restricted. So you will have to give it a little bit more of a push. That's not that the figure can't do it, and don't be worried about breaking it. It's just because of the thick suit, you need to give it a little more move. So what I'm trying to do now here is get him into the deep sit.
There he is. Wall sits. That's
Wall
it's
sit.
good for the
yes.
quads.
Yes, Stan, if you did see him at the conventions, was often known to do this on the back walls of convention centers, just for abs and quads. But I did want to get him there. Why I wanted to show a deep bend is this will kind of collapse a little bit. Not necessarily collapse, but you're going to need to puff it back up.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
to,
you have to zhuzh it, I think.
Yeah.
is a good word
Yes,
for
the
it.
zhuzhing.
That's the official term.
Yes, the official zhuzhing. Once I do that, we've got a little bit more natural look. Again, wide hip stance if we need, but let's get him set. I really think he's fun in that last scene. Kind of bummed that he's left alone and nobody's there to hear his stories.
Seems like because of the rock base and the bulk of this piece, he takes a lot of. It's a big footprint. In
Yes.
Your collection.
Yep. If we talked about, would you use the that backdrop for the figure to display him in your Delta? I wouldn't be, but I do think it gets a shelf of its own on yours.
Yeah, it seems like it would be its own existence.
It's its own existing.
Because you're looking from base to foot all the way inside. You're looking at a good, what's that, like 10 to 11 inches of width?
Yeah. We're talking. Yeah, if we were to just
that's pretty wide.
pop him this way where his back is leaning on that and he's there. Yeah, we've got a large base to cover.
Yeah,
Now-
I mean, he can keep the pack on or take it off depending on how you sit him on the rock base.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like scene specific. That's kind of the fun part for me, is to recreate those scenes. That's what I started with in '77 with Star Wars figures, was recreating scenes.
Oh, great.
So the recreating of a scene like this, he had his pack on then, so I'm keeping the pack on the one that I'll have.
Yeah, they're asking about how he sits on the rock. It really depends. Like,
It
there's,
really
there's some talk about can he sit on the rock while wearing the pack? Yes,
Yeah.
it depends on how you
Yep.
put him. And there's different ways to pose him on that rock.
Yeah.
You can angle him different ways.
Yeah, if I wanted to, I could do more of a forward bend here
This,
on a rock.
the posing process is a very fascinating process for me to watch.
And now he's bummed out. This was
Oh.
this was more the bummed out.
It's the abandoned.
Yes.
That's abandonedly.
Well, the other reason I think we're going to do the two halves we talked about is in that scene, he's a little head down, bummed out that he can't tell more stories.
Imagine if that's how you chose to display your Stanley.
Is
as just a really
sad, bummed out Stanley.
Space Stanley being super bummed on the moon.
The moon of Xander.
Yes, well, that's also the moon. It counts.
Exactly, it counts as a moon.
They're commenting that in the movie he's not wearing the pack in this particular scene while he's sitting on the rock. But with your collectible, you can either have him with it or without. Either one does work.
Well, yes,
That's fun.
Yeah.
we.
That's fun commentary.
Nice to know.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Let's
little
talk-
sticklers. I like it.
Let's talk about the articulation of the head underneath. With that other Stanley, the 2016 version, we had the fleshy neck and all. Well, that sounds strange.
I love that line, by the way.
Yeah. Don't take that out of context. But with this one here, we have an inner space suit. See if we can get tighter in there on that. So it's a cloth ring all the way up and around, tight on it. Around the neck itself is a little like the Stormtroopers, where it's that kind of weaved, ringed.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is not a rubberized thing, but again, a cloth piece.
They're asking for your personal opinion about the helmet being in two parts. Do you?
I don't mind it. I think, sure, I would have liked to see a single piece, but I also can understand why they did it that way. It is probably for manufacturing, for fit, and maybe for the ease for a collector to continue to remove it, because they're going to want to pose the head differently, that you're not having to go through a lot of steps.
Seems like it would be more breakable as the one piece.
As the one
well.
piece, I think you're
taking it off and on depending on how you want to pose it.
Pulling it out of a mold is going to be a lot harder deal.
They are talking about the Watchmen. Are we going to get some of the Watchmen pieces? That would be great if we did.
We can hope.
Yes.
Wait, Watchmen or Watchers?
The Watchers.
Watchers, thank you.
Would they get it as a?
Yeah.
Would you get it as a
Watchmen
3-pack?
is a different thing. Yeah.
Would you get it as a 3-pack? Yes. Now, of course, they'd have to be a bigger figure, so you're definitely not going to fit into your Delta. But what the heck? Let's go all the way out.
Their heads alone. Getting a Watu's head to fit in one of those would be pretty rough, I think.
Yes.
I like. It looks like Stan's having a blast facially. Is there? What other types of hands are there going to be?
All right.
Because that's something that I really wanted to take a look at here. Is the different hands that we have.
All right. Gesturing hands.
Yeah, it's like a kind of Doctor Strangey magic hand right there.
Yeah, well, it's a floating, but I wanted you to be able to see it, so we'll try and.
It's a good gesture hand.
It's a good.
So
So there's that one. Good.
There's this one here. That's your left gesturing hand. This is your right, more of a gripping.
Yeah. In case you need to throw a weapon or something in there. Maybe you want Stanley.
Find a scaled Starbucks cup.
You know, I feel like
put it in
a
there.
6-scale Punisher would come with a lot of options, and I feel like maybe you could just shift it over to your stand. You could have your
There you go.
Space Stan Lee with a big M16.
Yeah, if you picked up the John Wick,
there you go.
that has so many weapons you're not going to display at one point.
Yeah.
You can display them with your stand.
Stan Wick. There it is.
Again, not screen accurate, but what the heck? Why not give it a whirl?
I mean, we don't know what happened after that scene.
Right. This is a post credit. We
And
only
now
saw,
I'm going to fight crime. Or
Yes.
something.
There is our left on the grip one.
Cool. That's great. It's great that they did so many options for a scene that's not necessarily. It's not an aggressive. You're like you said. It's like 15 seconds of a scene.
Right.
And so it looks like Hot Toys really went out of their way to sort of give you a lot of options for such a short time piece.
What I like about it is, it's if you're a completist and you have to have everything from a particular line. You love all the Guardian stuff. Well, then yes, you want to add this guy to it. But if not, he's a single standalone piece, and he's a great piece. For lack of a better phrase, he's our storyteller, which is why he says at the end, "Oh, there's so many more stories I want to tell," and we hope that we continue to get the stories that he did.
They are asking if you can take the pack off, and so we can see how he looks.
Let's give it a
posed without
whirl,
it.
folks. Let's give it a
There's
whirl.
also another interesting request. Is it possible to put the helmet on only one half, so it looks like his helmet has slid open, like it's a retractable? type of
Yes.
helmet?
Now I can do that. There you go. This is you're not going to get a lot of refraction as far as the light from looking at it.
That's not bad.
However, this is not the type of space helmet where it
Would
where it
retract
did
that
have
way.
a lift up faceplate. So, yep, it's an option. I don't know that I would do it that way, but it is an option for you if you so wanted.
That's so nice way to put it. You're like, I wouldn't do it like
Yeah,
that.
but again,
if you
that's
want
the
to-
that's the beauty of having these displays is you can do it a different way. So, so what we're going to do is unfasten all of our magnetic parts. So, let's see, I want to put this here. Here's all of our different magnetic parts. You're going to have these. These are going to be mirrored on each side. So you're going to do each. You're going to do the other side the same way. Lift up magnet. Wow, strong magnet, as you can see, went right back into place. There's your other one. These are your two clips. Push them gently in.
I'm glad you do this.
Yes.
Because I'd be so uncomfortable doing this.
Well,
If
I
were-
will say that I'm a little uncomfortable doing it because of the fragile quality, but
Yeah.
Why? Just because it's an exceedingly rare exclusive
exceedingly
piece
rare.
and this is the first time it's been opened.
there we go. Be careful with it, but if we can get a close-up of the open clasp, there we go. If you have a little, we talked about this in another episode where I said, those little small optical tools, go find them. I found a set at Harbor Freight. You can even use a coupon and get them for about $1.50. It's a good thing to have. They're for changing out batteries if you need, but even little things like this. I'm just able to do it with pushing them in with my fingers.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to do that. I don't have the delicate touch of a guy. I'd be like, hey, look, I
Snap.
ruined the thing I just took out.
Ruined
of
the
box."
thing I just took out. Okay, so let's now take a look at that pack once it's off.
Nice.
Hey, we're gonna put this on there.
I like that it's so lightweight, so it doesn't affect him being able
As
to
I said,
stand.
yeah, this is like I said, the foam covered, so there's not a lot of weight to it. It doesn't restrict his mobility. It doesn't restrict movement or anything like that with it. But to me, the key was, oh boy, those packs are gonna drop him right over.
They were all with you with an anxiety watching you take off those little tiny.
Yeah, I
straps.
was nervous. It's yes,
Mark says my
I've
nerves are shot.
yes, I've broken a toy or two in my life, and I just didn't want to do it on live television. But we're going to set that one off to the side, and then we can look here.
And there were some questions too about the other hands. Are there any with articulated fingers?
No, they're not an articulated finger. They are a molded figure, molded fingers and such. So they are in that pointing, gesturing. Can I do that? There we go. That is well, you can't see it. Anyway, I'm doing the same pointing gesture.
No, I want more of that.
Yes,
Can we
it's
do-
not the Harrison Ford finger pointing, but which I'm hoping that the next Harrison Ford figure we get does come with
The
finger
Harrison
with
Ford
with
point.
with the finger pointing,
And then you could get extra of those hands, put
Yes.
one on
and
your
on
Stanley,
every
bootleg it.
on every figure I have.
No, don't do that. We frown upon doing that.
All right, here's your next set of magnets and how you're going to display it if you take the pack off. On the back here, it's inside the cloth is the magnets. Lifting that over that
Nice.
clasp that was loose. Okay, then we're going to do the same on this side here. So this is going to protect the little clips.
That was a pro move, Guy.
Thank you.
Just there. That was good. That was good. I liked the way you used it to sort of hold it down.
And then this one here into our mid back. There we go. Like so. So for those of you that wanted him to be more on the rock without the pack, deep bend, Stan, you can do this.
There it is. There he is.
There we go. Now, based on where, the leg joints actually are, you can see there's still room for the pack, which is why, for me, I'll be keeping it on. But, again, that's the neat part, and that's why we like these, is that they're not statues. We have options, how we want to pose them, how we want them to look, and you know that when you watch How to Be a Poser, to get them really good, but... yeah, I was nervous taking that back off.
No, that was great. I think the entire chat, everybody watching, is looking at this piece. It's a great piece, and watching you figure out and working these tiny working clamps.
Yeah.
It's like watching you disarm a bomb.
Yes. I was, yeah. But
Just picturing you with like the sweat beating down your head.
another reason to have your microfiber cloth
Give it
is
some
to
space.
dry your brow,
Yes.
if need be, during those really tense moments. We're going to put helmet back on.
Sam says, put on the dome. He can't breathe.
So I'm very sorry. Yes,
Yes.
you're absolutely right. Of course, you guys did have me remove his life support pack.
Yes.
So
But we're okay
what's
with
the
that.
point?
I
Yeah,
want him
still,
to have to think
still
about
with
it.
the breathe. Okay, so when we just did them there, again, you see that they'll kind of flatten out. Give those babies a little tweak. We saw it with the last figure we talked about last week and the ankle articulation, and that it can bend from side to side.
Is that pronate and supinate? Is that what that is?
Exactly. And these will do the same thing.
Science
so if you're
works.
going with a wider stance, but you still want the feet flat on the moon, boom, there you go. Like so.
It's spry, just as spry as Stan was in his heyday.
They're asking, does the head come off on this piece? That come off completely?
You people are morbid. We're ripping backpack. We're ripping life supports off.
Just give it a tug. Find
Just
out.
give
what
it a tug.
happens.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Look at that.
Okay. Now this is important to see because this. By doing so, this lets us know that indeed this is a brand new sculpt.
Oh, yeah.
And that is because on our the 2016 version, it was an articulated neck and post. This one does not have it. Put it to the side there.
I feel so uncomfortable looking at this.
Yeah.
Is it just me?
For
Is
those of
everybody
you-
else here?
For those of
He's
like,
looking
for
right
those
at
of-
you.
No, I get it. It's why I feel
for
uncomfortable.
those of you that asked to behead Stanley,
You got your wish.
there you are. I don't know what issue you didn't like that you felt that was necessary, but
Oh, it's got the glasses on now. Come on.
so
Oh,
dun
that
dun
just-
dun dun.
It just makes me feel wrong.
Yes. But let's now that we've got him just with the head sculpt there, let's take a little time to really look at it. Yes, so this is a brand new sculpt. Very similar in look, but we talked about the fact that Stan, I mean, the first convention I met him at was 1997, and then I met him right before he passed at an art gallery where he was doing a signing. And Stan looked the same both times. So it is a timeless kind of look of Stan. But again, we're now seeing that they've molded the entire neck straight down with that. You get that upturned corners in the mouth of the smile,
Yeah, the
and the little
slight
and the
stand
little
smile, yeah.
wrinkles that appear in your forehead when you do that. Turn.
Teeth seem to be painted a little different.
The teeth are slightly different. It's not a different part as far as the way they sculpted it, but we've done a little bit more natural with it. The 2016 version was a little brighter in the teeth. It's not to say these are dirtied, but we've done a wash that I think they pop a little more.
They've moon dust on.
They've got that moon dust from eating moon rocks.
That's what he does.
That's what he does there.
He's the rock biter. It's an
So, but it's just a gorgeous.
yeah, it's a great sculpt. It's eerie as hell looking at this.
There's a question about the body. Does it feel like there's a full body in there? Is it foam? Like, is there an actual body piece in there?
Yes, there's an actual.
Fully posable?
Yep, fully posable underneath. Obviously, as we talked about, it is a little restricted because of the suit, not the body inside. It has deep bending knees. It can do the waist poses. All of our others.
He looks like he's making a headless astronaut salute now.
Yes.
You could do that as your pose, I guess. If,
Yes.
You know, it's your.
Yes.
Once you're there.
Actually, that's what I want to, again, talking about those knees is just, once you have done a knee bend, know that this is going to move up.
So you need to
Give it that
adjust
little tweak.
Oh man, now it looks like an astronaut in peril.
There's a floating
Floating,
astronaut.
yeah,
With
floating.
no head.
Floating headless
Isn't that a scene in
astronaut.
Gravity?
It's, yeah, you know,
Sure,
it's a
yeah.
little different, but he can take refuge on this rock.
There is another question. What else comes in the pack besides hands? Is it just hands?
You have the hands and your 2 additional pegs
Just in case.
that you can swap out.
Can you lay out all the hands?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Why don't I lay them out on the...
Circle his head with them.
Yes.
That's what
Let's
I
just
want.
get real
Just
real.
Surrounding him
his removed head with all those
with
extra hands.
the different
And let's
hands.
really make a go of it. Let's really see what we can.
What we can do here. Remember, we're doing this for you, people. We're doing this for you.
You asked us.
You asked us. You asked me to behead Stanley.
Oh my gosh. Mark says now Drax is an astronaut. He's staying still.
Oh, I
He's invisible.
You're absolutely
Yes.
right. This is that opportunity.
Does that have the ability to put another head on that peg then? In the-
Remember, if you're going to do that, yes, there's the peg, but remember,
That's a long-
Stan's coming with the additional neck. So unless you have one of the neck pieces that does it, it's not the standard.
Right,
Okay, the standard are just we normally are cutting on the chin line.
right.
This has the entire neck. If some of the figures have the removable neck,
They would like you to put the head back on.
I would like to put the head back on because I find you people disturbed
I have been
that you
waiting-
asked me to do that.
I have been waiting to put this head back on since people
Since
even
the-
brought up that the head
Got
was.
really quiet.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm
There
gonna
we go.
check out here for a little
Now
bit.
this
Y'all-
it just feels more natural to actually have a head on the character.
Oh, no, they're asking multiple times. I'm going to go ahead and answer. No, we're not going to strip this completely down.
No.
Oh,
You
no.
could.
No.
There's a zipper in the back.
There is a zipper. I'm not sure. Again, I think you're talking about
I don't think you really could because of,
ripping a lot of stuff off
yeah,
and cutting. I think you're going to cut stuff.
yeah.
I don't see a reason that you would need to do
Yeah.
it. I think.
What's the pose you people are going
Well,
for?
I think
What do you want out of
if
this?
the question is, I didn't I didn't get the Stan Lee from before, but I'd really like to still do a Stan Lee figure that's not in his spacesuit, maybe. Yeah. The problem is that because it's this new original neck, if you have an existing True Type or you want him on John Wick's black suit, it's not going to be a simple pop on and off. This is a very, very scene-specific figure. Don't take the head off. That's weird.
Don't do that.
Don't be that person. Stop asking
There's a
that.
request for the Stanley wave pose. They would like a...
Oh, you'd like the wave?
Yes.
All right. Well, if we're gonna do Excelsior, let's switch out a hand.
There it is. Tear that hand off.
Hot Toys was nice enough to give you the extra pins for it if you need.
There it is. So now, when you usually get your 6 scales, do you keep how it kind of comes factory, or do you like to mix it up?
You mean do I?
When you're
swap
posing
pieces
yours
up?
specifically, do you stick with whatever the factory settings is, or do you go deep into the
Oh
hands,
no, I
the
like
extra
to
hands and
switch
stuff?
the hands out and stuff. I mean, this one here, they're very subtle gestures in the hands. We're going from kind of a loose grip to a tighter grip, and then we've got the pointing gesturing we're calling. So there's not a ton, but in a lot of the others, some Indiana Jones figures and things like that, particularly ones when they have a specific sculpt. I mean, my Spock, yes, he's got the
live long.
he's got the which is great to have, and now there's a new version where I can pose him with the hands behind the back. I'm looking forward to that figure with a new body that they've done as well. But you want waving stands, so let's.
Mark pointed out that you could put that head sculpt on an Iron Man body because those die-casts do have the longer.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you own a die-cast, you can have an iron stand.
Yep. An iron stand.
The Mark 50?
The Mark L or Lee.
L for Lee, which rhymes with 50.
Oh my
Wait
gosh.
a second.
We
Illuminati.
just uncovered something amazing.
We got there. Look at him.
And
He's
that's how
waving.
your show gets shut down
Oh,
when you.
and we're not live.
Oh no, we've been shut down by the Illuminati. Apparently. There he is. Oh, yep. Keep polish it. Get that microfiber.
3 coats of wax.
Just the fact that you brought a microfiber cloth with
love
you
it.
to me is
I
just
like
my
it just
favorite
appeared
part.
out of nowhere. Too. Like it just suddenly was there.
A little bit of sleight of hand magic going on here.
But there we've got our gesturing Lee.
Oh,
I want to put him up
understand.
on the.
That is the more correct version.
I want to put
understand.
him up on the Susan, because I want to spin him around for you really to be able to see him. He is so
there's
fun.
A question for you personally.
Mm-hmm.
How many Hot Toys figure do you have personally?
Well, it's hard for me to know the difference between Sideshow and Hot Toy as far as how many.
Let's say
How many
6
6
scale.
scales?
But how many 6 scale? I am close to 400 now. Close to 400.
That's many.
As you may, if any of you saw the last episode we did, I started when Sideshow started.
Oh wow.
Sideshow, some of their first was the bayonet, they called it, and they did military figures. And one of my first was Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and then a Michigan militia. Those were my first 3.
Michigan militia is that's a tongue twister.
Yeah, there we go. But it was those were my first. My first Hot Toy figure was the movie masterpiece, which this is technically part of the lineup,
Yes.
and it was the very first time they did the Iron Man.
Wow.
There it is.
You know,
And so, when are you going to get astronaut Lincoln and astronaut George
I
Washington?
what I would like to do when I get this home is I am going to try and swap those heads out.
And then a Martian mercenary.
Yes, there we go. That's
There
the way
it
to
is.
do it. That's the way to do it. But this is a fun one, and I think he's still available for you to wait list.
Yeah,
Am I
just
go-
wait list. But I do recommend get on the wait list.
Get on the wait list.
Because sometimes they do come back and they go to the wait list first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's you would want to get on that anyway. I mean,
So if you want happy waving Stan versus the aw shucks, I don't get to tell more stories Stan of the movie, there you go.
that's the one you want.
There you go.
This is, I think, if I
love that.
had been lucky enough to acquire one of these, this is
Or
the
if you're
this
fast
is the
enough
pose.
today.
Or
Yes.
if I get waitlisted today, I'll take it.
No, if you're
Or
fast
I'm
enough
fast
today.
Oh, I plan on stealing this.
Why are you
Fully
holding that
plan on
rock?
walking out
Why do you
with
think
it.
I bring a backpack here? I walk out of here with so much product. You have no, just hot toys.
We
and
literally have no idea.
stuff. Even when
how
I'm
much
filming
product.
Sideshow Live, sometimes I will lean back and grab a toy and just put it in my bag while you guys are watching.
All
It's just a
right.
weird thing. So the people seem to be a little bit stoked that you have 400 pieces. That's an impressive collection.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
It's wild to have them, and yes, I'm a person who has duplicates of them. If it's a Han Solo or an Indiana Jones, I absolutely have multiple. Absolutely have multiple because, yes, the nice part is the ability to pose them, but sometimes I want them both posed. What I'm going to
there
do
are
now
Follow-up
is
questions.
put this
There are definitely follow-up
is-
questions to yours,
is-
your answer.
is put this baby back together.
Okay, while you're doing that, how do you display all of your?
No, about 10 years ago, I realized I was going to have to
Make some choices.
make some choices, and so they are displayed at different times
Okay.
throughout.
Do you have a calendar set?
No set calendar. I should probably start doing that. Here's my Halloween figures.
Yeah,
and,
like a monthly base.
You know,
Yeah.
here's my Ash versus Evil Dead, and here, those kind of things, and do them.
Do you have this is a question for both of you guys. What is the one Guardians 1 or 2 side character that you would love to see? Like not the main cast, but just some of the characters that you see along the way.
Okay, I want the guy who has one leg that Rocket wants to have. Where he says, how much for the leg? I want that guy with the removable leg so I can later have Rocket holding the leg.
And I will take.
That's creepy. I shouldn't be that person, but that would be the one.
I'll take threatening Lloyd Kaufman from the prison scene. Lloyd Kaufman, famed writer and director of such films as The Toxic Avenger, The Toxic Avenger 2, and The Toxic Avenger 3. But yeah, no, he got a cameo because he was James Gunn was, I believe, his protege, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
So that's the one that I would go for.
Mine is the Collector. Oh, Anne Marie agrees with me. The Collector. I would love to see. Yeah.
Super producer.
Well,
Sam
see, now I consider
Stoked.
that more of a main and important character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't
So
seen
when
him
you
yet.
said
Oh,
offshoot, I'm thinking you get 2 seconds
right.
of film.
oh, give me John C. Reilly.
Oh,
my
there we
gosh, in
go.
the suit.
Why didn't
Oh,
I?
in the Nova gear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
I want a taser face so Rocket can laugh at me.
Yes. Taser face. Because then you can pose Rocket just
Yeah.
pointing and laughing.
Yeah, there you go. That
Can
could
you
work.
do one of the fellow? It's James Gunn's, I believe.
Brother?
Sean.
Yeah.
Sean.
Gun, yeah.
Sean Gunn.
Yeah.
What about Stallone as Starhawk?
Oh, that'd be.
You didn't follow the rules. Yeah.
That I believe
Cosmo
is
the
going to be a
dog was
voice
also-
activated figure.
Yeah.
Yes.
It will have a small sound box.
Yeah, and then you could have, because that was great when you had like Michelle Yeoh and Stallone and Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames took an Arby's break so he could be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They have the moots. That's him. That's Ving Rhames. Did you guys know that's Ving Rhames?
I didn't know that, no.
Anyway, this is the Ving Rhames 6 scale. Oh, that's Stanley?
6
Is it
scale
still
Arby's
Stanley?
promo.
There is a question. Is there a set schedule for this show? There is not. Basically, when we have a piece that comes in that we know it's an advanced production piece, then we will have a show. But basically, we're going to just go live. So
I would love
the
to do
best
it
thing
all
to
the
do,
time.
the best thing to do to find out when we're going to do this is not only hit subscribe, but also click the notifications bell, because that will tell you when we're going to go live. So it's going to be your best bet. Also,
Let your friends know.
you might want to also
Well, we're taking a
make
while
sure you
to get through this.
subscribe. I'm watching this. So make sure you subscribe to all of our social channels, because we do post. Oh, I'm disappointed you gave up.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Sign up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook
There
for
we
all
go.
of the news that you're gonna need.
I was going to
No,
try that.
is that what you're gonna do?
I
Well,
was
yeah.
going to try lip syncing you, but I give up.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, but no, the best way to do that, because I also would like a regular schedule on this, but obviously it can't happen. This really is going to premiere the stuff that you will have never seen before being pulled out. Like this is going to be we're dropping breaking exclusive news here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't plan it.
But we can't plan it, so the best thing to do, definitely, you can subscribe to the newsletter as well. You can check out Sideshow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group is a great way to have access to that.
I always post in there first.
Yeah.
First by Sideshow.
Subscribe and notifications on YouTube. All of that is going to get you the information that you need. That Sam, what can I help you with, Super Producer Sam? I can hand you the lenticular background.
Actually, you can hand it together.
Oh, Howard the Duck. Everybody started. Yeah, that would have been a good one.
I mean,
And Cosmo.
If you subscribe to the newsletter now,
Yeah.
you have a chance to win
the Wonder Woman
Right.
Deluxe.
at Side.show.
What?
Yes.
That figure rocks. Side.show /
I'm gonna get you that.
WWDLX contest.
Yes.
Check that out. Sign up for the. I said that 30 times in Sideshow Live and I forgot it
did.
already. But you can sign up. You can win the Gal Gadot in the cool cloak.
Yeah.
And that very rad thing. You can win that just for signing up for the newsletter, which will then give you all the news that you need. And now we have Stan.
Oh, that looks so great.
That pops like crazy.
Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, the bright yellow on the purples and the blues, it really works.
Beautiful.
So we take a look at that. That's, I think, a good long look at Stan sort of waving,
Yeah.
letting you know he loves you. True
But again,
believers.
look at that bright.
I love
Um,
it.
Did anybody happen to tell us what the inside dimensions of one of the display cases is, so we could tell you whether or not it's going to fit?
No, they did check and say it's not going to fit.
It's not going to
Yeah,
fit.
but
It's
someone
not gonna
did say
fit.
you could put it on not on the top shelf, but one on the lower shelves if it's kind of on the inside bottom.
True.
If you have it, you'll have this kind of poking out the top.
Correct.
So, yeah.
I mean, it would be a gutsy move, but you could always cut it down.
Yeah.
No,
really
don't do it.
I
Don't
wouldn't,
do
but
that.
if you
are
if you
so
so
inclined.
badly wanted to have that in your case,
Don't.
I wouldn't. So there he is, without.
I love it with that backdrop.
Yeah.
It's great.
But the
That
backdrop
lenticular-
is-
That's the first time I've seen them do that. Have you seen it before?
They have done backdrops before,
The lenticular?
but not a lenticular.
Yeah, it's
The
pretty
first
cool.
backdrop I recall was my Indiana Jones, which was great because I
Yeah.
could have him as both the temple with the switch, or I could have him headpiece staff of Rob Mapperum, which is great. So Hot Toys has been really great to us about giving us moments to recreate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is just another option. If you're going to put it on a shelf, not in one of the cases, I say go with the backdrop. But just on his own here, he's a handsome guy,
Just a good dude.
just a good guy. And
Look at
I
him
am
being a good dude.
I am kind of excited to constantly hear his stories, to get more and more. So and we will. He gave us a lot of great stories, and this is a great opportunity to have him. That base, the base is just another fun thing. They didn't have to give us a base, just the figure alone.
No.
So with a base and a background to really,
Yeah, especially, by the way, for a limited piece like this, a piece that
Yeah.
was a very limited, very exclusive piece, to really go all out when you already knew you were going to sell out
Yeah.
is like a really, really, it just kind of go to show you how much sort of Hot Toys cares
It's good
about
fan
what they're
service,
putting
for
out
sure.
into the market. Yeah.
there's our guy.
Well, I don't know, but I feel pretty good about this. What do you guys
Yeah.
think? Yeah?
If you are watching this and you did not get a chance to ask your questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and we will answer them the best we can.
Please do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if there's anything else you'd like to see in these shows, let us know
Yeah.
in the comments.
We would definitely love your feedback. This is going to be a new show that we will do as we get in new pieces. So we'd love your feedback.
And I am very stoked to be a part of this. Guy, thank you infinitely for showing up and doing all the stuff that Autumn and I are way too scared to do.
Yes.
Well, thanks for letting me come and play with toys. It's a lifelong hobby,
And,
and I love doing it here at Sideshow. I hope that you're enjoying the show, folks. And yeah, as they said, if there's stuff you want us to do with it, I'd like not to behead them anymore, but I
as
do
you see,
understand
he
you're
will do
asking.
it. Yeah.
You're
you are
asking why.
the executioner now.
Yeah,
You have to go
I guess
be
I
leader
will be that guy. And
every day. Well, thanks to everyone in the chat, watching at home, interacting with Autumn. It means the world to us that you watched and that you had such great questions and comments for that. Don't forget to hit subscribe and get those notifications. Follow on all the social medias. Hit that Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group, which has exclusive videos in of itself too, only
Every day,
available
Monday through Friday. We go live every day to unbox and play with toys.
so there's that too, and you can check out all the other stuff that we do. Sideshow has a lot of great videos and podcasts and things like that you can check out. So thanks again. Thanks to the cast and crew of this really fun show. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Don't forget
To let your geek
That's-
side
that's my line.
show.
To Let Your Geek Side Show. I was gonna say it. Damn it.
Excessive.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.